Body positivity made me feel like a failure. And I know that might sound strange because on the surface, it's supposed to be empowering. Just love your body. Your body is perfect as it is. Confidence is a choice. But every time I heard that kind of advice, something inside me tightened. Not because I didn't want to love my body, but because I couldn't. And the more I was told that loving my body was the goal, or even worse, the requirement, the more broken I felt for not being able to get there. So in this video, I want to talk honestly about why just love your body advice actually made things worse for me, where body positivity misses the mark for so many women, and what I found to be a much safer, more sustainable middle ground between body hate and forced body love. This conversation matters, especially if you ever thought, why does this advice work for everyone else but not me? Well, then let's dive in and talk about what body positivity sounded like to me and why it hurt. When I first encountered body positivity, it sounded like freedom. The message was stop hating your body, stop trying to change it, love yourself as you are. And part of me wanted that so badly. I wanted to feel at peace. I wanted to stop obsessing. I wanted to stop feeling at war with my body and myself even. But here's what actually happened. I'd look in the mirror and hear, you should love this. And I didn't. So instead of feeling empowered, I felt like I was failing at healing. I wasn't just struggling with my body anymore. I was struggling with my inability to love it. That added a whole new layer of shame. And here's the problem with just love your body advice, or the issue no one talks about. Body love is not a starting point. It's often an outcome. When you tell someone who's spent years dieting, controlling, criticizing, disconnecting from their body to suddenly love it, you're asking them to leap over a lot of unresolved pain. And when they can't make that leap, they don't think, oh, this advice isn't just right for me. They think, there must be something wrong with me. And that is the part that made me feel worse. So let me make this really concrete and tell you how this showed up in my daily life. I remember this showing up in really ordinary moments. I'd be eating something, not even binging, just eating that, well, subconsciously I thought wasn't good. And I would feel that familiar tightness in my chest, that quiet voice that says, you shouldn't eat this, or you've already had enough, or you're a failure if you give in. And instead of actually addressing that guilt, I would try to override it. I would tell myself, well, no, you're supposed to love your body now. You're trying to heal, you don't need guilt anymore. But the guilt didn't disappear, it just went underground. And I'd keep eating, but my body felt tense, like I was forcing myself to be okay instead of actually being okay. The same thing happens with clothes. I'd put on something and, well, feel uncomfortable, feel exposed, feel that urge to change. And then I would immediately think, why can't I just accept myself? Or other women love their bodies, so why is this so hard for me? And that question would quietly turn into something much harsher. What's wrong with me that I can't? And that actually used to be the overall question when it comes down to my relationship with food and binge eating. So instead of meeting myself with compassion, I added pressure. Instead of relief, I added another expectation to live up to. I wasn't just dealing with body discomfort anymore. I was judging myself for having body discomfort. And that's the part people don't talk about. When body loves becomes something you're supposed to feel, not feeling it starts to feel like another personal failure. So the shame doesn't go away, it just changes outfits. It stops sounding like outright body hate and starts sounding like positive self-talk, but it lands in the body the same way as, well, the hate does. Tight, pressured, unsafe. And when your body doesn't feel safe, it doesn't soften. It braces, it holds on to weight, and it makes you feel miserable. So here's something important. If your nervous system doesn't feel safe in your body yet, love feels inaccessible. Not because you're negative, but because love requires connection. And connection can't be forced. For me, my body didn't feel like a neutral place. It felt like something to manage, something that betrayed me, something that needed fixing. So telling myself to love it felt dishonest. My body could feel that dishonesty, and when something doesn't feel true in your body, your nervous system resists it. Most of the advice out there represents two options. Either you hate your body or you love your body. But that it is a false binary. There's a whole middle ground that doesn't get talked about enough. And that middle ground is where the real healing happens. So then let's move on to the middle ground that actually helped me. The shift that helped me wasn't body love, it was body respect. And before that, it was body neutrality. So I stopped asking myself, do I love my body today? And started asking, how can I treat my body with less hostility? And that felt achievable. On days when love felt impossible, I could still eat regularly, rest when I was tired, stop punishing myself, wear clothes that didn't hurt. And that was, for me, revolutionary, because respect doesn't require enthusiasm. It requires presence. And once I stopped forcing body love, my relationship with food softened along with it. Food stopped being a test of whether I accepted myself. It wasn't trying to prove body positivity with my eating. I was responding to my body as it was. And that reduced pressure, and that less pressure meant fewer spirals. I wanted to address this because this is a common fear. Choosing neutrality or respect, it requires presence. And once I stopped forcing body love, my relationship with food softened along with it. Food stopped being a test of whether I accepted myself. I wasn't trying to prove body positivity with my eating. I was responding to my body as it was. And that reduced pressure. And less pressure meant fewer spirals. And I wanted to address this because this is a common fear. Choosing neutrality or respect isn't giving up. It's not saying, I will never feel good about my body. It's saying, I'm not going to require love before I allow myself care. So care can come first, love can come later, or not at all, and you can still heal. So here's the quiet part. When I stopped demanding body love, something unexpected happened. My body started to feel safer, and over time, moments of appreciation appeared naturally, not performative, not forced. They were just there. And that's the paradox. Love grows best when it isn't demanded. So if just love your body advice has made you feel like you're doing healing wrong, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not broken, you're not resistant, and you're not behind. You're just being asked to skip certain steps, and healing doesn't work that way. So a gentle reframe you can try is, instead of asking, do I love my body? Try, can I stop fighting it today? Can I meet myself where I am right now? Can I choose one act of care? That is enough. That's more than enough. But to give you the most value here, let's make this even more practical. Because again, if just love your body hasn't worked for you, the question isn't, what's wrong with me? It's, what does my body actually need right now? So here are some concrete strategies that help me, not as rules, but as ways of relating. Number 1, replace body love with body permission. Instead of asking yourself, do I love my body today? Try asking, what can I give myself permission for today? Permission to eat without compensating, rest without earning it, to wear clothes that feel comfortable, to stop fixing how you look. Permission lowers threat, and when threat goes down, regulation becomes possible. Then number 2, practice body respect in neutral moments, not emotional ones. This part is very important because most people try to practice body acceptance only when they're triggered. And that's actually the hardest time to do that. What helped me was practicing respect when things felt neutral. Things like sitting down to eat instead of rushing, drinking water because it feels good, stopping when I'm tired, adjusting clothing without shame. These moments truly build trust quietly. And trust is what eventually softens the body image. Number 3, separate how your body looks from how it's allowed to be treated. This one was huge for me. I used to believe if I don't like how my body looks, I don't get to treat it kindly. So kindness became conditional. What shifted things was deciding my body deserves care regardless of how I feel about it today. That meant eating regularly, even on bad body image days, not punishing myself through food or movement, choosing gentleness even when I felt disconnected. Care came first and feelings followed later. Number 4, use food as information and not evidence. On days when emotional eating happened, instead of thinking, see, I don't love my body, I don't love myself enough, I practiced thinking something in me needed support. Food stopped being proof of failure and became feedback. That alone reduced shame, and shame is what actually keeps the cycle alive. Then number 5, redefine success in your body. Success was no longer, I love my body all day. Success became, I didn't spiral, I didn't restrict to compensate, I stayed present, I kept going. This redefinition matters because if success requires love, most people will quit. If success requires continuation, healing becomes possible. And this whole approach works because it doesn't ask your nervous system to lie. It doesn't require you to feel something you don't feel. It builds safety first. And safety is the foundation for less emotional and binge eating, less body obsession, but more trust and more peace. Love can grow from there, but it's no longer required. When body love is forced, emotional eating often gets worse because food becomes the place where comfort is allowed, relief is permitted, regulation happens. But when you allow neutrality and care, food doesn't have to do all of that work in itself. And that's why this work, or this body neutrality, this body respect, matters so much. So remember, you don't have to love your body to heal the relationship with food. You don't need to feel confident to stop binging. You don't need positivity to build trust. You need safety. And safety starts with removing pressure, even the quote-unquote positive kind. So if this video resonated and you want to understand why food feels so emotionally loaded for you, especially on days where your body feels hard to be in, I created a free quiz to help you with that. It's called What Type of Emotional Eater Are You? It helps you uncover your specific emotional eating pattern, what your body is actually asking for, and where to focus on instead of forcing willpower. So you can take it just in a few minutes. The link is in the description below. And if this helped you feel less alone or less wrong, please hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell, because it does help share this kind of messages to women who really benefit from it. And tell me in the comments, has just love your body advice ever made you feel worse instead of better? Lots of love, and I will see you in the next video.